What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be doing a live walkthrough on what it looks like as I'm building these automations. And what we're going to be doing today is creating a new way to create campaigns, like in a project management sense, right? And what I've got right here is my current setup, which simply shows me my analytics from my Smart Lead account in my ClickUp account. And so we're able to see the campaigns at a glance. We're able to see how those campaigns are performing. We're also able to see key information and have percentages. I can obviously add more information. I actually used to track how many booked calls I'm having and so on and so forth. But anyways, that's besides the point. I've also got a timeline view and this table view, which shows me like what the targeting looks like with this campaign. And so we're able to see um, which departments, employees, industries, and countries we're targeting so that we can replicate our list building efforts. And these used to be here. I don't know why they've been deleted. Actually, I know why they've been deleted. It's in one of the automations, but that's besides the point. The other thing that we've currently got is these sequences. And so what this allows us to do is easily duplicate campaign subsequences. And so you can obviously duplicate regular sequences, but the main reason I use this is to duplicate subsequences. Because if you were to, for example, use Smart Lead, you're at the moment you're unable to duplicate a subsequence. And so if I wanted to add another subsequence here, I'm not able to do that. So you can do add, yeah, but that's not a duplicated one. So if you have a template, which I actually have right here, a bunch of different templates. So I've got subsequence templates. When we click on that, I've got templates that I use to duplicate them over to different campaigns. And so I can copy two, input the campaign ID that I want to duplicate it to, and then send it over there. And then we've got this one, which I have never really used. But at the end of this, I'm going to be showing, like, revamping all of this to make it more actionable. So what this was supposed to do is generate an Apollo URL that I can easily um, to help me easily find leads, right? So when we go back to the table over here, we know what the departments, the people who are responding, what they look like. And so using this information, we're able to then create an Apollo URL that fits that criteria. And obviously, we can also dive a step deeper with this type of thing where we we grab only the positive departments, employees, industries. But anyways, that is what I've got. We're going to be completely revamping it. And if I had to describe what this is just at a glance, this is an information based system, right? So we're taking data from SmartLead and having it be outputted inside my ClickUp account, visually speaking, right? And obviously we can create like dashboards with all of this data, which I actually have in the dashboard section. But what I'm going to be switching this to is a project management system that allows me to create campaigns from my ClickUp account and then send it over to my Smart Lead account. So it's going to be the reversing. And the reason why this is important, actually, I should probably show you. It's inside the whiteboard section. I've got this go-to-market strategy which I use for every single client, and so this is a company name, just a company, and then we've got the lead batch 1, lead batch 2, lead batch 3, and we create different campaigns for those lead batches. And so if I onboard a brand new client, by the end of the first 2 weeks, we're going to need to create 24 email variations, right? So campaign 1 has 4 variations, as you can see at the bottom here. Campaign 2 has another 4 variations, and we're creating 6 campaigns total. And so this is a huge task. And so we're going to need to have good project management. And I'll also be leveraging a lot of AI and things like that in my workflows. But for now, let's get started. Let me show you how all of this works. Funny enough, my recording stopped at the 60-minute mark. And so the past however long I've been filming did not register. So you guys skipped out on the boring parts. Let me show you what I've built in the meantime. So I've switched from the old campaigns to the campaigns v2. And in the campaigns v2, this is the new structure. So we've got all of the campaigns. So campaign one, two, three, we've got them linked over to a client. And we're doing this system, which is called playbooks. So we've got job posting playbook, technology playbook, enrichment playbook. And this is what the playbooks look like. And they're in a different status. And so I'm going to have a whole bunch of playbooks with an email copy prompt, right? So this is going to be prompts that help us generate the copy, which we're going to be using for step one, step two. And what else have I worked on? Oh, and also I've worked on my client onboarding process. And so whenever I onboard a new client, we got to go through these steps, which are going to include creating copy. So one of the things that happens is when the status is moved to a brand new client, we go over to this onboarding automation, which creates the copy, adds them to Stripe, creates the Slack onboarding doc, does all that other stuff. But in addition to that, we're going to be sending them to Clay to ensure that we can do further research on their company, coming up with things like the value prop, the company overview, the customer pain points, all of this information, which we will then use in uh, in uh, in tandem with the playbooks to create the campaign copy. And so if you think about what we're doing here, we've got a playbook. So we choose a job posting playbook. It's also linked to this one client. And when we simply move this status from choose company playbook to campaign copy generated, what's happening in between that is that we're using AI to analyze the value prop, overview, pain point, along with the playbooks that we've chosen with the copy prompt, and then coming up with messaging that looks like this all automatically. And so that is what I've worked on. You guys have not missed out on much. Actually, you probably have, but it's getting to the fun part now. So that was an overview, quick overview of what it looks like. I'm going to do a test, just like a work day in the life working, like what it actually looks like, because this is, I think it's valuable to see like the actual workflow when you're working on this stuff. So it's not always going to have these emails here, right? And we're also, so in a brand new email, sorry, when we go back to the client onboarding, we go through all these statuses, and one of the final statuses here is create email campaigns. And actually another one is modify company overview. So this is AI generated. We're just going to modify it a little bit to ensure that it's accurate. But once we've done that, we do create email campaigns. Once that's clicked, it's going to send an automation that creates these 6 different email campaigns, which come into this separate list right here. From here, the very first task is going to look like this. So choose campaign playbook. So the very first task, we're going to be using an assign comment for this. It's going to look like this, which says choose campaign playbook. And so from my end, I just have to choose, all right, so we've got six campaigns. Which playbook are we going to go with? We're going to go with the job posting playbook. Cool. And then from here, once I've chosen the job posting playbook, we're going to do campaign copy generated. You know what? I should rename this. Instead of campaign copy generated, it should be called generate campaign copy, right? Because this is what we're moving the status to. Generate campaign copy. Looks good. Apply. All right. So generate campaign copy. We move it here. It triggers a webhook over here. And by the way, if you don't know how to do that, just trigger webhook, right? So webhook, call webhook right here. So we send the data elsewhere. We've got the job posting playbook. We've got the client description, everything. And then we send it over here, generate campaign copy. From here, we're going to be doing that hi first name stuff, right? First name with this is an email, right? So this is what an email is going to look like, and obviously all of these are going to be different depending on the playbook. And so, like a job posting playbook, for example, might be like came across this job. And by the way, to give some clarity, this is what Apollo looks like. Apollo does, right? So you have the sequences, and this is what I'm kind of trying to emulate. So you've got AI assisted email copywriting, right? And it comes up with 3 emails that look something like this. And all you need to put is your customer pain points, value proposition, company overview, and a call to action. And so it's a very similar thing, but this is just custom to ensure that it fits our unique needs and also allows us to further modify it in the future. And so came across this job. This is what it looks like, right? Came across this job. So this is the job posting playbook. And then from here, we're going to get a task, right? An assigned comment, which simply says modify campaign copy, because we've just AI generated the copy. It's not always going to be perfect. So it says modify campaign copy. We change this, we add a period over here. And then from here, we go to create copy spin tags. This is going to trigger another automation that creates the spin tags for us using AI. And then from there, we do build a lead list. And this is going to do several things. So if you are doing like a job posting, right? Like we're going to be generating URLs automatically. So let me actually copy the full message. So this is what a message might look like. So it might just look something like this, which says build a lead list. And we simply take the Apollo URLs, how those URLs are typically built. As you can see, we've got, and actually, let me go to the link and show you, right? So if you look at the URL headers, it says organization, job titles, analyst, engineer. And when we go over here, we've got data scientist, analyst, engineer. And so if I wanted to add, let's say, QA manager, is that yeah, that's yeah, I think that's a thing. So let's do QA manager. So QA, can you do spaces? Let me just do manager because I'm gonna mess it up. So we've got manager right here, and if you check the down here the description, we've got a manager added, and so we're able to create these dynamically. And in the job posting playbook, that's one of the things that we're going to be trying to do, because the job posting playbook, we simply just need to input a bunch of job posting titles here and generate URLs for that so that we don't have to do anything else. If you were to do this manually, like it obviously takes a long time. And how we figure out the job titles is, again, based on the value prop, company overview, pain points, all that stuff. So this is, you guys are now all caught up. The boring stuff is gone. Um, what I'm trying to figure out is some of these campaigns are not going to require us to build clay tables. Some of them are going to be as simple as just, you know, sending it. Um, Actually, I still need to enrich contacts, right? So instead of build clay tables, enrich, I could call this enrich contacts in clay. I think that's good. So we do enrich contacts in clay. And so we've built the list, we've downloaded it. Actually, yeah, go to profile, imports, exports, CSV exports. So I just downloaded this right here. So we've got some accounts here. And so now we need to enrich those contacts in clay. Right, so we go here. And so what this is gonna do, I'm not sure. So enrich contacts in clay, we've got the copy. And by the way, not all the copy is gonna look like this. So this is gonna be like maybe like AI first line, right? So like this is where it gets a little bit tricky to determine like how do we take all of these variables into account, right? Like how do we do that? And and by the way, to show you guys what I typically do, right? So for my clients, I go through these different steps. So Apollo IDS, so this is like an example of one client, we go through this, and then another one. So this one is basically just looking at the Apollo instant data scraper and enriching all of the details. This is getting all of the emails, company information right. And then this is finding company descriptions. And then finally, we send them over into an email campaign. So we're using as an endpoint. In fact, I could just show you, right? Like to give you guys some clarity on what it looks like. So this is the general structure that I have inside my clay tables. I think this one has like 50K contacts, so that's why it's taking a while to load. Um, okay, it's gonna take a solid minute. Anyways, so we definitely have to enrich the contacts in clay. You know what? I think I've got it. So by this point, by this point, the campaign is going to be good, right? We're going to have build a lead list. Should we add the campaign first or build the lead list first? I think we should add the campaign first because it's good. But I'm not sure. That might change in the future. So by this point, we've already got the copy created. Maybe we need to create a second variation, right? To ensure that we've got the variations properly set up. But we've added them, build the lead list, enrich contacts in clay. All right, so it's here. So it's good. So we've got all of this information. It validates the emails. This one's not the right one. So default view is better. So default view, we're able to see all of that information. So normalizing, checking for duplicates, finding the work emails, verifying them. And then the final step here is adding it over into our second step. And the second step is going to do other things very similar, right? Like it's going to be finding the account descriptions and stuff like that. And the end goal of all of this is going to be adding them over to a smart lead campaign. And so I think that it makes the most sense. It makes the most sense to build list, enrich contacts in clay, and then have this be like activate campaign or something. Mm, enrich contacts in clay. Activate. I don't think activate is good. I think I'm just gonna leave it as active, right? Enrich contacts. Actually, no. You know what? I'm doing a lot of thinking, right? So this is like what it looks like when building these automations. But I think this is good for now. We're definitely gonna need to make changes, and so if we now start to analyze where we are, we basically need to create playbooks. So we need to create a whole bunch of different playbooks. We need to create an automation for the clay table for the client's descriptions and all that stuff. And I think this is good. So add campaign to smart lead, build the lead list. I think this is good. I'm gonna call this active. I wonder how long I spent on that like in the video. Anyways, I think this is good. So now the playbooks, right? So playbooks. mm, okay, let me pause and think. You know what? I think that's it. You guys missed out on the build out, and so I think this is the basic structure that we're gonna go with. Um, but obviously, like, it can change, right, as we go through this. So playbooks, gotta create those. Campaigns, gotta create those. So now we get into the automation. So we're gonna start creating some automations here. Um, let's get started. So the first automation that we're gonna want to create that sets all of this stuff up is the client value proposition. So when I onboard a brand new client, I've got all this information, right? So Fonto enrichment automations, webhook. Yeah, this is fine. So let's create a new one, new table, and then let's do a blank table, right? This is a company table. Enrich. Okay, and so we're going to be using a make.com automation. Let me put that in this section. This is going to be a webhook, custom webhook. Wait. That's wrong. Discard changes. It's going to go into client onboarding. So client onboarding automation. Right. So this is looking good. So after we create the onboarding doc, we also send their information over to Clay, and we import from webhook. Import data from webhook. All right. I literally just added 4 webhooks because it was so slow. Um anyways, I'm just going to delete this and restart. Yes, delete table, new table, webhook, new table. And then we copy this URL, go to make, paste the URL right there, and then do a post, parse the response, and then do raw JSON. And inside here, we're going to send. Oh, actually, we've already got all the information here. So this is what we typically get for our clients, right? So we've got the company name, right? We've got the company name, which is going to be right here. And then we've also got the company website. I think that's all we need, really, right? Because like you can do a lot with just those 2 things. Right, so we've got the company name, we've got the company website, and we're good. Awesome. So I think that's everything. That's it. So now we click save, send. Oh, actually, we're gonna need some more information to Clay. We're going to need the ClickUp ID, right? So that, and the reason we need this is because when we're sending the data back to ClickUp, we want to be able to find the correct task to send this to. And so we add the task ID right here. And that's it. So we don't need anything else. And then from here, we're going to be sending that information. So this is company name, similar to what we just created previously. Company name. And then This is going to be company website. And then this is a URL. And then what was the other thing? Click up. I don't need to put that here. It could just stay in there. Okay, so this is good. We've got the company name, company website. This is looking great. And in fact, I should probably add a company name. So we should do. I mean, we already have Team Epic, so I'll just do one of my clients right now because why not? So we got Team Epic, and then company website is teamepic.ai. And then from here, we want to add columns, browse enrichment, company. So enrich company. Right, wasn't there like a waterfall? See, the thing with Clay, they changed they changed um the tools like all the time, so it's always hard to know like where the things are. But I found it. So we're going to use this enrich company, and this is going to give us a lot of key information. In fact, I've got 50,000 credits, but anyways, besides the point. This is what we would be doing, and so we enrich company. We're going to get the description. We're also going to get, what else are we also going to get? Oh, and then we're going to use AI. So AI, right? And then this is going to be create. Actually, that's a good thing that we don't have this because this video is gonna be like 3 hours long. Otherwise, okay. So just add this right here. Save, do not run, and we do the same thing that we had over here. So inside the clients field, so value prop, company overview. I think the company description serves a good purpose. So we can just use the company description for that. And so now we just need customer pain points. And then we do AI, browse enrichment. So AI. Didn't I just do this? Okay, so now we do customer pain points. Right? So this is looking good. We've got customer pain points, we've got the value proposition, and we also have the company description. I should not have run it because I don't have anything there. Okay, so this is looking good. Now that we have all of this information, we also have the task ID, by the way, which is going to be inside this section over here. And actually, I should do a test to show you guys what it looks like. So run this module only. So we should have actually done it like this before. So Team Epic, Team Epic.ai, and then task ID, we're going to use this one right here. And then we're going to add that in. That's going to create a brand new task. At least it should. Right. So yeah, it just created a brand new task. Queued, but nothing's gonna happen. Okay, so this is looking good. And when we check the webhook information over here, the style details, it should have data. Though Clay is being really buggy right now. Mm, company name. It says nothing. Did it work? Oh, it seems to have not worked. Oh, it's not valid, Jason. Oh, I'm not using commas. I'm not using commas. Okay, so we have to do that again. But this time it's saved, so that's awesome. Is that the correct one? No, it's F60. Okay, so this is great. Now we're gonna get a new one. So there you go. So we've just created it and we've got the webhook received with the ClickUp ID. And so from here, we're going to need to use an HTTP module, which is going to be here, HTTP API, and we're going to do a post. The endpoint is going to be, so this looks fine. I'm gonna unlink it because this is not done yet. We're going to create a brand new automation that takes the data from here and simply adds it over to ClickUp. So webhooks right here, we've got it, and then we need to do play add company. Cool. And from here, we copy the URL, which we will then put as an endpoint over here. And we're basically going to be copying, actually, it's going to be a little bit more complex. So we've got this right here, which is going to be the ClickUp ID. And then the ClickUp ID is going to come from the webhook module. So we've got that right there. Actually, I think you're not supposed to put the quotations around that. So we've got the ClickUp ID, and then we're also going to need the value proposition, value prop position, and then we're going to add the value prop. That's also wrong. But anyways, I think you guys get the point. So we're just going to leave it like this for now. And then the headers, this is something that you guys may not know, but you need to put content type over here, and then you need to put application/JSON, right? So otherwise, you're going to run into errors. /JSON. And in fact, I'm just gonna put a random one because honestly, we just want to test at this point to see like, does this work or does it not work? And it will work, but I think right now it's we don't need to be perfect. So ClickUp ID, and then let's go ahead and save and do not run. And let's also delete this one because we don't need this row anymore. And then from here, let's go ahead and send the information over to this webhook. And let's see if it works. So it worked. We've got the information. As you can see, we've got the ClickUp ID. We've also got the value proposition. And using this ClickUp ID, we're able to modify task. So task, so ClickUp, update task with custom fields. Right. That's accurate. Modify task with custom fields. We go into the workspace, find the information for the workspace, and from here we're going to be um, updating our clients. So client, we map that task ID that we had previously gotten. So ClickUp ID, and we need to simply add the value proposition. So value prop. Boom. And on that note, as we're here, I might as well just get this other stuff done because honestly, we're here. Might as well just do it all at once. So value prop position, add a comma, company description, and then we put NA. So NA for now. And then the other one is customer pain points, right? And then we put NA for now. Awesome. So this is looking great. Let's go ahead and run it once again with all of the information, just to ensure that it's set up once and we don't need to really do much. Okay, so this is looking awesome. So company overview is going to be right here. So company description, Customer pain points is going to be over here. And then the value proposition is value prop, client value prop. Looking awesome. And that's it. Like this is literally it. So what had I call this webhook? So add, let's go ahead and edit this. Click up. Right. So click up, Clay, add company info to click up. I'll do value prop. Points. Cool. So this is looking awesome. This is it. This is literally the automation. There's nothing else to this automation. And so we've just onboarded a brand new client. This is a brand new client. Um, we add them as a task. So whenever I onboard a client, I have to add them as a task. So new client, right? So this is the client name. I input all of these fields right here. Once these fields have been created, I have a webhook. I have an automation right there that sends a webhook over to right. Let me find that onboarding automation. So by the way, I'm sick and I'm losing my voice. I've been speaking for nearly 2 hours now. So excuse me, I'm sorry. Um So this sends it over to this webhook right here, and this sends it to the clay table, which is right here, and then that clay table sends it right back over to here. So new client, we've got all the information, and so now we can proceed over to the next steps. So we go through the regular business as usual. We get over to modify company overview. So the company overview has been created by Clay using this AI module. We don't need to do anything about that overview up until this stage of the process. So modify company overview. And at this point, I analyze this. I think we could do better. I think we could do better here. And then and then after that, I simply need to create email campaigns. When I click create email campaigns, this is going to trigger another webhook. And the reason for that, by the way, is because when I create a task, so you're able to create a task in a different list, right? Which is the campaigns V2 for now. But what you're not able to do is you're not able to map that over to the correct client. Right. You're not able to map it over to the correct client because I want to be able to make the custom field of that new task, the custom field of that new task. I want it to be client one. So status. Da, 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 da. That's correct. So status changes from modify company overview over to create email campaigns. We're going to trigger a webhook. And this webhook is going to be a brand new automation. So we save this, we back out. That's looking good. New scenario, and this is also a webhook. So custom webhook. And then we're gonna call this something. So click up, create new task. All right, so this is looking good. And then also change this. Copy the URL and then paste it over in this section. And that's about it. So we've got the URL. So what happens is if a status is over here in modify company overview, we move it over to create email campaigns, we're going to then create 6 different tasks over here with the correct disposition. So how we're going to do that is we're going to do a ClickUp task, which is just called create task. So create a task. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be more complex than that. Yeah, no, it does not. It does not. Um, so create a task, and then I'm going to add a router, and then just duplicate this 6 times over. So let me clone it after we've got all the information in here. And we also need to create a task with custom fields. So click up, right? So create a task with custom fields. Is that it? I guess you could just do this, right? Okay, so create a task, and we just pick the list, which is going to be the campaign v2, right? And that's going to ensure that we can create a bunch of campaign tasks. And so campaign v2, no parent task ID, task name is going to be campaign1. And then we're going to, so like when we go back to this, like this is how we set it up. So brand new tasks should look like this. There's really nothing else that needs to happen. The only thing we need to have is the client. So it needs to be assigned to the correct client. So we go back here and we make sure that the client is mapped. And in order for us to map the client, we need to do a test. So let me go ahead and I wish there was an easy way for you to just create like a test, but there isn't. So tag added. Okay, so this is good. Call webhook. And let's put this URL right here. Call URL. And then over here, I add a tag, domain inactive, and then use existing data. Boom. Now we've got all this information with the custom fields, right? And now what we need to find the client, right? So this is the client drop down. We need to find the options. Yeah, no, it's much easier if we do it like this. So add module, get task, and then we simply get the task ID, which is right here. And so in this case, it's going to be this task ID. Run this module only. And from here, I simply need to just map the ID. So the client, we map it over to this right here, which is going to have client as 1. And that's it, right? This is going to create a task that looks something like this. And now we simply need to do that 6 times over. So we call this campaign 1, and then we clone it 6 times over. So 4, 5, 6, and then we do this, we do that, we do that, we do that. I'm gonna delete this for now. That, clone. Okay, that's looking good. And so now we've automatically created 6 tasks right here. So 6 new campaigns. And this, I'm going to call the, yeah, so it's campaign 1. And this, we need to change it to campaign 2. But I think I could just do this later. I don't think I need to bore you guys with all that information. So, but it's just that, right? Campaign 1, campaign 2, campaign 3, campaign 4. all the way up until 6. And that's about it. So now we've got the automation that creates the value prop for us, the company overview for us, the pain points for us. And then we've got the automation that once the status is moved to create email campaigns, it creates 6 email campaigns for us. And then now we need to create the automation that gives us the task. So this, we're going to add this. So when a task is created, so task is created, we add a comment. This is an assign comment. Choose campaign playbook, assign it to me, and then we do that. So brand new task, and this is just SOP's choose campaign playbook, right? And we do this same thing over and over, right? So now a task is moved over to the next step, which is going to be generate campaign copy. We already have the job posting. In fact, we're going to add another automation right here, which status changes from not started over to generate campaign copy, and client, so custom field is not set. So this is client is not set, status, right back to choose campaign playbook, right? And then we duplicate this, duplicate, and then we do that for playbooks. So in order for us to initiate this, in fact, we don't even need these. We don't even need these. Though it would not be, it would be nice to have. Yeah, it's nice to have. I'm gonna have them, but we most likely don't need these because of what I'm about to show you in a second here. So custom field is not set playbooks, right? And so from now we do when status changes from not started to generate campaign copy, and the client, yeah, we'll probably delete those other ones because they might be redundant. So custom field playbooks is set, and yeah, we're gonna delete them because this just solves the issue. Custom field um, client is set. And so now when we've got these right here, we're gonna call a webhook. Yeah. This is good. This is good. This is good. So we call webhook. This is interesting, right? Like the what I'm thinking about is whether we call a clay webhook to send it or automatically to another table that creates the copy, or whether we send it to an automation like this. I'm leaning towards a make automation. So we're gonna save this, and we're gonna create another automation right here. So create automation, and we're gonna call this generate. Yeah, it's definitely this campaign copy, right? So we do webhook. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rename these later. Okay, so generate campaign copy, custom webhook, and we're going to add this here. And when we copy this over here, it's going to send the information whenever a status is moved here. So this is all looking great. And like I said, I'm going to be deleting these to make the automations not redundant. Otherwise, it overly complicates things, right? So let's go ahead and do a test. So we've got the client set up right here. We've got the playbook as job posting playbook. and then we go ahead and do generate campaign copy. What that means is that this should now receive, actually, that was just a receiving data. This one is going to come up. So now it should call this webhook, or why is it not calling the webhook? So generate campaign copy. Something's going on. Seems to have determined the data structure. So generate campaign copy. Okay, something's going on. Maybe it's my webhook, the one that I used. Right. So this is looking good. Custom field, playbook is set, client is set. Also looking good. Oh, you know what it is? I'm an idiot. So we got to go back to this right here. And then we have to ensure that the... you know what? Yeah, I should have those other automations. As I'm realizing, like, that confused me. It's gonna confuse me, someone else in the future, right? So copying the current direction, you want to do that again, right? So those status that automate, those ones that we previously had, those we just found out it was good to have. So it was actually good to have this right here. So we're gonna be bringing them back. Um, and so now everything is going to work perfectly fine. So we go ahead and we have this create campaign copy. And by the way, what you want to be doing whenever you're using these types of automations right here, you want to have a comment, right? So you want to say playbook is not set. Add playbook, something like that, right? You want to make sure that you know why it's being sent. So the assign comment, it would just add it here, letting you know what you need to do. So now everything's good. It should have sent the data. So we've got all the data right here, and we need to do a few things. One, we need to get the task so that it allows us to easily um, reference the custom fields. So the task ID, we reference that, and then the next thing we do. So this is getting the campaign task. The next thing we want to do is we want to, yeah, let's run it once. So we go back here. We've got campaign 3 with this right here with this information. Boom. Oh man, this is gonna be so awesome. As I'm thinking about like the actual workflow, I'm like, this seems so seamless. So we've got the custom fields. The next thing we're gonna do is we're going to search for. So click up filtered tasks. Right, filtered tasks is the one. So list filtered tasks, and we're going to be finding the proper client, right? And so the proper client is going to be found in this list right here. So I've just got the list ID. We've got the client, and then I need to find them with the custom field, and I also need to do include closed. And then the custom field ID that I'm going to be searching for is, we're going to look at the history section over here. Not this one. We're going to need to get the custom fields for client, right? So we've got the client dropdown. The other one, just as we're here, is called, wait a minute. Actually, no, that's correct. So playbooks. This is the other one. I'll duplicate this as well. and I'll copy this. So this is the playbooks ID. And so equal to, we put the playbooks. So the playbooks is going to be coming from here. So yeah, playbooks, we've got it from there. And then from here, we're going to be pasting the ID for clients, custom field ID, and then the client equals to client. So this is looking good. And so what this means, right? Like what you're looking at right here, this means get campaign, right? And then this is get client, and then this is get playbook. And all of these are going to have different things that they do. So the playbooks, if you recall, they give us access to the email copy prompt. So this is the prompt that we're going to be using for these different playbooks to generate the sequences. And then the campaigns, they have actually no, the clients, they have the descriptions that we've already created. So the value prop, company overview, pain points, they have that. And so when we have the campaign, we've got the client, we've got the playbook. With all of this information, we are now able to use ChatGPT to create a message. And so the last thing we're going to do here is do OpenAI, and then do a create completion. And then from here, whatever. I'll just choose one, GPT-4. From here, we're going to basically say like, hey, this is the prompt for the playbook, and this is the customer that we're talking about. Create two emails from this and output them as a JSON, right? Actually, I think you could do add message. Ooh, this is, yeah, I think this might actually be good, because I think you might be able to do just email one and then do email two, output them separately. I'll have to test that out, but I think that's good. So this is email one, and then this is email two, and then I'll put max tokens here, and then let's run it once, right? We should be good. We should be good to run it once, and then so from here, it's taken a while, probably because that was a horrible prompt. But anyways, so we've got choices, and dear Anne, hope this message finds you well. So I was hoping to see two choices, right? Let's see. Generate follow up email, and then another email. Shoot. Yeah, this is the thing with the platform. Like I said previously, it stopped me at 60 minutes. It's gonna stop me again in like literally like 1 or so minute. So I won't be able to complete this all today. Um, but I really hope that this was useful for you. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get two of these. Otherwise, I might be able to. Otherwise, I might be able to do something else. But it doesn't matter. The point is, we're going to use ChatGPT to create the first email, the second email, and in fact, we can actually even just do it like this to give it more clarity, like what it's working on. So the second, so email one. Actually, I think I'm just gonna do it like this. So email one, and then email two. Oops. And do email two. Yeah, this is so much. This is easier. So email two, and then I send it back to ClickUp. Okay, so we've literally got 30 seconds. So let me see if there's anything else I need to point out. Right. I need to create another automation for the spin tax. Add leads, add campaign, adding leads to the smart lead that uses the smart lead API. Like I said, I gotta go because the video is literally about to end, but I hope this was helpful. If you guys found it useful, just Leave a like. If you want a part two to this, let me know and I'll be happy to make that. Cheers.